today I'm going to show you how I actually made these light fixtures behind me. Now, the way I actually did them is by reverse engineering these. I got a hold of about 8 of these light fixtures. They are 200 watt LED lights, 50 per fixture here. And the first thing I noticed when I got them was that they were very loud. The fans inside, I believe, are kind of cheap make quality. And the first thing I wanted to do was change them and get them silent. But then I also noticed that the light spread of these square, which are very common, is not very ideal for my indoor setup. I actually like it quite clean and neat. As you can see, my bonsai are placed towards the back of my living room here. And therefore I wanted to actually change that also. This square setup is very ideal for a grow tent where the light is spread 360 degrees. Behind me you can see that I want to spread across one kind of line towards the wall. Finally, I also wanted to change the design a little bit. I quite like this a little bit more minimalistic setup that I have behind me. I just thought it would be fun and a bit more clean. I like the way it looks. Now, I will show you a breakdown of both the lamps that I have behind me. We'll go through one of them in detail. And then you will see a video, firstly with photos of how I built the frame, the structure for them, and then also video kind of recording of how I disassembled this one and then reassemble it into what you see behind me. Here is one of the light fixtures that I brought down for today's purpose. Now we can begin with just looking at this top here. This is the hanging fixture, which I have used to attach 2 chains to the ceiling, and this holds it very well in place. And we will begin by just removing them so that we can take a closer look at the components and how it's built. So I'll leave that one here for now. Electrical cables are coming in from the back just to have them less visible, of course. Now, the outer frame is actually built with floor plinth, I believe it is called. And I used a Bosch multi-tool to just cut them and glued these metal aluminum sides. So the back, we have a little extra piece of it that just slides into the frame. Oh, that one is loose. However, when I chuck it in, it just kind of works. So I'll just remove that part first. There we go. This then is a combination of 2 frames. 1, the base here, and 2 is this one, which actually houses the fans. And just put it here sideways. So let's look at the inner frame here. It is simply built with 20mm, 2 cm aluminum frame profiles here, angle profiles. And I cut them using a Bosch multi-tool, connected them with 3-way profile connectors. All the drills and holes that you see in this video are either 3mm or 4mm holes. All the bolts and nuts that I've used here to connect them are also either 3 or 4mm with slight variations in length. I believe some of them are 20mm, some of them are almost 25 here. As you can see, there are some smaller, thinner angled, L-angled profiles here, aluminum, that I've used to hang things on. And the actual profile or aluminiums that are used for the fan frame here are just thin 1 cm, 10mm thick, broad aluminum profiles, which I then used smaller bolts and nuts to connect with. Finally, you'll see that there are some kind of metal nettings, right, net frames in there that I've used to suspend the transformators here on the side, transformer, and I've also used it for just a little grill here for the underneath, just to have the cables in place, and also for the top part here, the fan frame. And well, when we put it all together, we actually have 3 major components here. We have the inner frame, then we have the fan frame, which the fans rest on, which also has the switches and the electrical components sticking out of it. And then finally, we have the outer frame, which kind of just sits on top. And the whole weight is actually supported with the inner frame. So everything actually rests on top of that. You'll see that the fans are just hanging here. And I've cut these small wooden pieces, you will see that in the video too, just to kind of hold the fans. And they simply get placed into this frame. And this is how it looks all together. 3 of them hanging from the ceiling. I have some IKEA shelves there at the bottom. And well, I'm quite happy with this look, actually. I hope you enjoy the video of the actual build. And just let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. Thank you. Lastly, some of you might be interested in how I have actually fixed these to the ceiling to make them adjustable. So to show that, we'll bring the camera up a little bit. Those are the fixtures that you have seen. And with chains, I have simply attached them to the ceiling with, I'm not sure what those are called, carbine hooks or rollers. And they're quite easy to adjust. Pretty easy, clean setup. For the sake of it, I'll show this other setup that I have on the other side of that display wall. Of course, I have more than just those plants. And yep, it's a place where bigger plants, closer to the actual windows, and my pride and joy are, of course, here. So just want to show them for the sake of it. Thank you.